It is starting to get bad. With Nikola Jokic look like he's on the cusp of winning his third straight MVP, the media isn't too happy about it. They weren't happy about the first one, they damn sure wasn't happy about the second one, and they're about to set the world afire because of this third one. Now, the excuses are becoming a lot more eccentric, whether it's not he's a stat better because he's having a triple-double all of a sudden, even though he was really on the cusp of averaging it the last 3 years, and he just finally did it this year because he has people that actually make shots, or the fact that now apparently you need to be a top 3 scorer to win MVP. I don't know where that excuse came from. Or going back to attack his defense, even though if you watch him, you realize that he's far from a bad defender. They're trying to pull every single card out that hat to not give this man the award that he definitely deserves. And I'll be one to say it right now. If Nikola Jokic wins his third straight MVP and he doesn't at least make it to the conference finals with everybody on his team healthy, the only team I think he should be losing to is the Phoenix Suns, if even that. Winning your third straight MVP and not even having a finals appearance on your resume, or having your only conference finals appearance to be before you're even this good, is nasty work, and I'll be one to say that we need to start holding him to a certain level that we don't. But as of right now, this is the first year he's had a full healthy core around him, to where he's playing at an MVP level, and people don't even want to give him a chance to truly prove what he can do once he does have a roster around him. And it doesn't matter that if there's a year that he should win MVP where there's no excuses for him not to win it, it's this one. They don't care about that one. So today we're gonna go through all the so far recent reasons as to why people don't want to give him his award, and we're gonna debunk all of them because there's really the big one, the one that I see the most, the stat pattern narrative. Nikola Jokic has finally at the point where he's averaging a triple-double. He was on the cusp of doing it the past couple seasons, but you know, his teammates are actually hitting shots this year, so he's comfortably, well not comfortably, he's averaging right at 10 assists per game, but as the season goes along, I think he'll be comfortably averaging it for the rest of the season. And right now, Nikola Jokic is putting up close to 25 points per game, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, shooting 63.3% from the field, nearly 40% from basically 40% from 3, and 82% from the line. Unheard of level of efficiency while averaging a triple-double. Nikola Jokic is doing crazy things right now, but people love to compare this to Russell Westbrook's MVP season and call him a stat pattern because they call Russ a stat pattern. And there's a reason why they call Russ a stat pattern, but those don't really equate to Jokic. If anything, you could have used this argument for you last year more than you have this year, because he was in a position that Westbrook was in last year where his team wasn't good and he was carrying them, and he was close to having a triple-double that year anyway. That was a better year to actually say that he's stat padding than this one, even though none of them he isn't. The reason he's not stat padding is because if you watch him at all, you realize how much in the flow of the offense Nikola Jokic actually does score, and just how efficient he is. It's literally the complete opposite of stat padding. Shooting 63% from the field, 39% from, or 40% from 3, 82% from the line, which equates to about, I think, 70% true shooting, unheard of levels of efficiency. Lily cannot be stat padding. And unlike Westbrook, when you watch him play, you don't see his teammates boxing out for him to get rebounds, or you don't see him getting to the rim for layups and then passing them out to shooters even though they had open layup just so he can get assists, just so he can get his precious triple-double. This is not how things work over here. He's doing this in the flow of the offense in the most efficient way possible. I don't know how you can watch him and see literally how he plays this game and call that stat padding at all. You really just don't like basketball. You don't like him, especially since he's literally also only playing 34 minutes per game and only taking 50. The defensive argument for Nikola Jokic has been there since his first MVP. Ever since he kept taking them away from Joel Embiid, people have been using the argument that Joel Embiid is the two-way player while Nikola Jokic is overwhelming the offense, but he doesn't, affect both sides of the ball, and he gets hunted in the playoffs. And they cite last year against the Golden State Warriors as a reason to why that, he shouldn't be MVP all of a sudden. Even though there's plenty of players that don't play both sides of the ball that's won the award before against two-way players, but let's not even talk about that. The fact that people keep trying to paint Nikola Jokic as a bad defender also rubs me the wrong way, considering the fact that he's far from that. While the Denver Nuggets this past offseason did a very good job of putting great point of attack defenders around Nikola Jokic like KCP and Bruce Brown, and even Aaron Gordon that was already on this roster, calling him a bad defender is the biggest you don't know ball thing I've seen in a while. Nikola Jokic is great at positional defense. Now, while he isn't great at switching out onto guards like a lot of bigs, and he is pretty slow-footed against like a lot of bigs, he is best in drop coverage, and he has great hands, and he knows how to put his body in positions to really affect shots, and he's not really picking up cheap fouls, and he does a very good job of at least, staying on the floor, keeping guys honest, and not really being a negative on that side of the floor. If anything, he's a very overwhelming positive from his ability to communicate, move guys to where they're supposed to be, and be in positions to really affect shots, even though he's not blocking them. Now, that doesn't result in crazy defensive numbers. He's only averaging like 1.3 steals and I think 0.7 blocks. But again, blocks and steal numbers is not how you grade defense. And the simple fact that he has I think 110 defensive rating, which is also a product of having great defenders around you, but still a 110 defensive rating that's lower than his team's defensive rating, meaning his team's better defensively with him on the court. It's just hard for me to understand where this bad defender narrative comes along, other than the fact that he's slow-footed, a little bit chubby, and is not crazy athletic. That's the only reason why I see this. And not gonna lie to you, outside of being a better rim protector than Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid is not much better of a defender than him. Same issues in the pick and roll, and again, just he's a better rim protector than him, but that's really it on the defensive end. Again, calling Embiid a world-class defender over Nikola Jokic is again another you don't know ball take because you don't watch the game. And lastly, this new argument that came specifically from Kendrick Perkins about the you're not a top 3 scorer in the NBA, so you deserve MVP type thing, because he says Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, and Nikola Jokic are the only 3 players to win an MVP and not be top 3 in scoring. And what does they all have in common? He's trying to say that they're all white guys, which is another argument that I'm not even gonna bother addressing, because if that's how far you gotta go to try to dismantle this man's MVP case, you're already lost, and there's no point in me arguing with you if that's what the levels you're willing to go to. But what he strategically left out is the fact that he cut it off at 1990, because if you go any further back than 1990, you hit Magic Johnson that was averaging 19 points per game when he won his MVP. You get it here? It's just these cherry-picked arguments that really make no sense. If there's a year that he should win MVP, it's this one. He has every single thing: the winning, the stats, the resume is all there. No matter how hard people try to take away from it, it's literally all there. The winning, the stats, all of it, it's right there for him to win MVP. It's the perfect year. I understand some people's frustration especially with the Giannis case, in the sense that he's carrying his team just like Jokic did last year, and he's not getting the same love. But come on, this year the man's averaging a triple-double, number 1 seed in his conference. There's not really much argument against it, and I will be part of the people that will hold him accountable if he doesn't make it far in the playoffs, and I don't think he should probably win another MVP award if he doesn't. But this year is the year. There's no real argument against him not winning it. I don't see why people are so hard at taking it away from him. I understand people being mad that certain people aren't being mentioned in the argument as hard as he is, but there really isn't anybody that I see winning it other than him. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Do you think Nikola Jokic should win his 3rd MVP? Or not even that, he should. But what reasons do you think other people may have to win MVP over him? With that being said, this FLB, that's my time, and I'm out.